So today we're going to do a nice little series of exercises on the floor to build the strength of our abdominal region, hip and pelvis region, and back extension system. So to begin with, we're just going to go down towards the floor and just start with the basics that I've led you towards so far, with connecting through the feet to begin with. So you can draw the heels back towards the body, pushing out just gently through the heels so you activate through the lateral muscles of the legs. And you want to start thinking of yourself as sitting up nice and tall on your sitting bones. You start with the hands behind the back, just resting into the back area so you can feel that the back and the body can extend to begin with. Now from there, all you're going to do is you're going to let the feet slide on the floor as you roll down, and there's going to be a little moment where you feel your tummy muscles contracting, and you're going to hold that for 10 seconds. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then sliding the legs and coming back. Activate through the feet, rest for 5. Then extending first, and then lowering down through that extension until you feel your tummy muscles contracting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Coming up, resting for 5, 3, 4, 5, and then back again. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Coming up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Sitting up tall. Legs out. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then coming forward, up, and then relax. A progression of this would be to just hold the hands on the chest, and then keeping the feet there, sliding back, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Try and lift the chest forward and up as you do it. 10, and then coming up. 2, 3, 4, 5, and going back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then coming up. 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Good. So that works the abdomen from the pelvis up towards the chest. From that connection as well, you can then add slight rotation. So you're going leaning off to the side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Coming up to the center. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then into the other side. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then up. 2, 3, 4, 5, leaning down. 2, so you bring that elbow very close towards the ground. Now you see that my legs aren't exactly even. Okay, so one is bending more, the other one's extending. 9, 10, up. 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and up. Progression, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then up. 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then up. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that starts getting in the obliques and the rotation through the legs and the lumbar region. Then just lie down onto your back and then lengthen through the body just for a moment to allow that extension to run through the abdominal region after you've contracted it. Now, from there, we're going to do some abdominal work that comes through the solar plexus. So, in our last series that we just did in sitting, that was all the lower abdominal region and working from the feet to the abdomen and solar plexus. Now this time we're going to work from the chest down towards the pelvis. To begin with, you can do this with either the hands behind the head if you're comfortable, or even if you just have the hands out in front of you. If you've got a bit of a neck issue, then you can have the hands forward in front of you and one hand supporting the head. With both hands behind the head, it means that you have to lift a heavier weight. So in this exercise here, what we're going to do is try and find our lower back and lumbar spine in extension as the base position. Feet onto the ground. From here, we're going to work our sternum up, drawing the small of the back towards the ground, not necessarily flat on the ground, because we're trying to keep the pelvis relatively stable, and then coming back down. So there is a rounding of the thoracic spine rather than the lumbar spine in this phase. Because here where I'm trying to fold the body is through the thoracic, lower thoracic. So here we're trying to get the solar plexus, exhale as you come up, working. And back. Going down through the ribs, round and through the solar plexus region, and back down. It's about 4 and 5. Back down, and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Then just extend the body to lengthen out through that whole solar plexus area for just a moment. Now, you can then connect that extension through the body into our glutes. So you're going to lift one leg up towards the chest. And here what I want you to do is keeping that extension through the spine, I want you to reach your leg all the way out until you feel your heel just about to touch the ground and your glute muscles coming on. Keeping the extension through the spine, chest elevated, and you feel a little bit of work through the lower part of the ribs there. Coming up with that leg, 1, and reach out, 2, out, 3, 4, 5. And do the other side, and reaching out. Full extension, 1. Full extension, 2. Full extension, 3, 4, and 5. Now, that can be added by adding some flexion through the spine. Knee out towards the chest, and reaching out, finding the connection through the glutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then change. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's too hard to hold the neck there. You can put the hands behind the head. 5. And relax. Now this next exercise, we're going to bring both legs up, keeping the extension through the lower lumbar. From here, as you're keeping that extension through the lower lumbar, you're going to reach one leg out and feel for that glute muscle to activate. If it's too much for you to hold that extension, then just keep once again the other leg down towards the ground. If you feel comfortable, you can hold that extension, feel for that lift, and leg up, and change, up, change, and only lower as far as you can keep that extension working through the back. Up, change, up, and change. Up, one more time, and up, and then coming down. Great. So that way we're working through the strength of the torso and starting to recruit the glutes at the same time. Now we're going to take that concept of extension and work into a side position. Now here we're going to bring the legs up right up towards the chest, keeping the hips at about 90 degrees. My lower back tries to stay in extension, so I might have to move my arms back a little bit as I do this exercise. Now, just move down the mat just a bit further. Here. So my legs are right up, lower back fully extended, hand into the front of the body. Now from there, what we're going to do is going to bring the knee up towards the chest and then reach it down, all the way down. Now as I reach down, I'm going to make sure that I'm pushing firmly down with this bottom leg into the ground and coming up. Now I'm only going to let my leg reach as far down in extension as well I can keep the pressure down with this leg. Okay, so I'm going to go down and I start losing it about there and then come back up. 1 and down, 2 and down, 3 and down, 4 and down, 5 and last one, 6. So in a way, this exercise is really about how we connect both legs together. The top leg as a stabilizing leg and the bottom leg as it extends. Now from that position, you can reach the leg right down to where you feel that point that you lose that connection and drop the leg down. You can then lift up from that 1 and 2. Now, as I lift that one up, and push this one down, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Coming up. Nice. And go on to the other side. Face the other way if you'd like, or in my case, just flip over. So in this case here, put the head down, the legs up to 90 degrees, and then prop myself up, knees up towards 90 degrees, lower back in extension. Yeah. Leg reaching down, and reaching down as far as you can keep that connection down through this leg here, bottom leg, extending, trying to connect into the glutes, and then working into your stabilization glute on the bottom leg. Just doing 5, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and then coming back. version. Let's go down to where you felt you lose the control through here, and then going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this case here, what you're building is the strength of the glutes, the adductors on both sides, and you're starting to teach the glute muscles how to pair up, how to work as a team, from the bottom leg to the top leg, and then coming back up. Now, for the back extension series, the back extension series can be done in a way that you focus on keeping the connection through the lower part of the body and through the glutes. Here what we're going to do is you're going to push your feet down into the ground. As I push the feet down into the ground, I want to feel a slight connection into my hamstring and into my bottom muscles. Now the focus of this is not necessarily to come up as far as I can, or as high as I can, where I'm crunching into my back. Rather, what I want to do is I want to use the extension in order to build the glute mechanism and hamstring mechanism up in conjunction with the back. So, I'm going to push firmly down through my feet, get my quads working, and feel the connection of my hamstrings and my glutes into the back. Then draw up through the neck and head area, then lifting up, trying to lift up through the head until I feel my glute muscles come on, which is there. I can push further with my hands if I want to, but I'm just focusing on getting the glute strength working at this point in time. So, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, 9, last one, and 10, and then coming down. Nice. So in that way what we've done is we've really focused on the extension mechanism and involving the glutes in that extension mechanism, and not switching them off as we're coming up. We're using the extension in order to recruit a better hamstring, glute and back extension system. Now that can also be done in reverse. So in reverse is chin can stay down, we can arch our spine, push our chest and sternum plate into the ground. So here, my bottom just raises up a little bit. Can then extend that leg. So from there, let's do a little lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now as I lift that leg, I push the other knee into the ground. So I've got my hip flexor working on the right and my extensor on the left working. Then for the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once again, I've got my left knee working into the ground, anchoring my hip flexor down. So as I lift, I feel a stretch through the hip flexors as well as the strength of the glutes working. Not looking for excessive range, but rather focus on working through the lumbopelvic mechanisms, where the hips work in one direction and the leg works in the other, to activate the hip flexor mechanism, which can be used for a better extension, and also using the glutes to activate more efficiently. So a nice simple series just to do for a 4 exercise routine. You don't have to make the abdominal series too hard or too fast or too dynamic, and you can just keep it nice and simple when you're working. Just to finish off, to start with, if you can sit down comfortably with your legs slightly apart, doesn't have to be too far. Just think about Doing just a counter bend, stretching to flexion. I'm getting a little bit of rotation and flexion at the same time as we do this whole series. So reaching, coming back, and reaching. Coming back, and then you can reach both legs forward, stretching out. Nice. Continue that counter bend with forward flexion. You can have both legs straight, reaching forward. Or even just bring both legs in comfortably and then bending forward. Nice. So today we looked at a really basic abdominal series, working from the sitting position, feet first into the abdominal, and then top into the solar plexus. We then explored the hips and the pelvis, starting to get the hip flexor mechanism working in conjunction with the glutes as the leg extends. Followed by a simple counter bend forward flexion. Thank you.